Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Rohit Bapat and welcome to the series of Manache Shlok composed by Shri Ram Das Swami. Its meaning in simple English. Today we will see the Shlok number 16. First we shall read the Shlok and then we'll try to understand the meaning of it, the meaning between the lines and the hidden inferences out of it. First we will read the Shlok and we'll see the translation and meaning. मरे एक त्याचा दुजा शोक वाहे, अकस्मात तोही पुढे जात आहे. पुरे ना जनी लोभरे क्षोभ त्याते, म्हणोनी जनी मागुता जन्म घेते. Sanatan Dharma essentially talks about the cycle of life and death, the cycle of Janma and Mrityu. Now, if you want to escape this cycle of life and death, you will have to attain the moksha. But that apart, in this shlok, Shri Samartha Ramdas Swami explains what a person in life, in a normal life doesn't realize. The biggest fear that a human being has is of death. Now there are few people who say, I am more worried about my reputation than death, but for that you will have to be Lord Ram. Okay? But apart from that, normal human beings fear more about death. That is the biggest fear they have. And that is the saddest moment in their life, when they see someone die in front of their eyes, especially the one who they care. But while doing that, everyone in almost every moment of their life forgets that everyone eventually is going to die. Now there is nothing sad about it, it's just the reality. This is how it is. Just like how the birth is a reality, death is also a reality. And in this context, Ramdas Swami says, मरे एक त्याचा दुजा शोक वाहे. मरे एक त्याचा, the one who dies. Duja shok vahe, someone else feels sad about it. Shok means being sad, sadness, grief, pain. Mare ek त्याचा दुजा शोक वाहे. It's very obvious, it's very natural and in some way humane also, that if someone dies you feel sad about it. Normally that's how people react, that's how people behave. So one person dies, second person feels sad for it. That's literally what the first sentence means. Mare ek त्याचा तुझा शोक वाहे. And this is what happens in reality as well. Someone dies and someone else feels bad about it. But here is the second sentence that gives the reality check that usually we forget. Whenever we see someone is dying or has died, we feel bad about it. But akasmat tohi pudhe जात आहे. Akasmat means suddenly, without knowing, at once. So while you feel sad about someone else's death, you literally forget that every moment you are moving towards your own death. Now for some people it might sound really serious, but once you realize that this is the reality, you'll understand how clearly the saints and the sages give their message across. Akasmat tohi pudhe जात आहे. The one who feels sad about someone else's death doesn't realize that he is also moving towards his own death. अकस्मात तोही पुढे जात आहे. पुढे मीन्स इन फ्रंट. जात आहे मीन्स गोइंग. Now you understand the paradox or the irony in our life. We feel bad about someone else's death without realizing that every moment that we are living, we are moving towards our own death. So everyone is essentially moving towards death. So the hidden meaning is, do not feel bad about it. Do not be bitter about it. Do not think too much about it, because that's the reality. Everyone essentially and eventually is going to die. If you read Bhagavad Gita, that's what Lord Krishna says to Arjuna as well, that, oh Arjuna, everyone is going to die. And forget about everyone is going to die. I'm telling you, the people who are in front of you, the Kauravas, are already dead. So don't feel bad about them. Don't feel bad about them. Just do your job. Take up the bow and arrow and get ready for the war. The people in front of you are already dead. This is what Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. मरे एकत्याचा तुझा शोक वाहे, अकस्मात तोही पुढे जात आहे. Without realizing that while you feel sad about someone else's death, you are also moving towards your own death. Now, the thing is, while living our lives, even if I said that it's essential to break that cycle, but it's not simple. It is not simple. Because we, the human beings, are surrounded by what we call as Shadripus, the 6 foes. That has jealousy, that has greed, that has anger, that has lust. There are 6 of those foes that keep you tightly bound to the worldly possessions. And now, if you have too much affection to the worldly possessions, you will come back again and again to the same world. Am I right? Isn't that? If you have too much affection or too much attraction or bond towards something, you will come back to it again and again and again. So, if you have too much of greed or lust about something of this world, even after death, you will come back to this world, because that grief will not let you move away from the cycle of life and death. And this is what Ramdas Swami says in the next sentence, where Purena jani lobhare kshobhatyate. Purena jani lobhare kshobhatyate. Now the literal meaning, the literal translation means that the lobha, the greed, the kshobha, the anger is never enough. Tyate, for whom? So for whom the lobh or the anger is not enough. This is what the literal translation is. But the meaning of it is that the person who doesn't know that there is no end to the greed, there is no end to anger, there is no limit to it. Now the person who doesn't have the understanding that the greed has no limit, the anger has no limit, keeps on latching on to the worldly possessions, keeps on being angry towards someone all the time. And hence the last sentence, Mhanoni jani maguta janma ghete. Mhanoni means hence, jani means in the world, maguta means back again, janma ghete takes the birth. So the key for the rebirth is to be greedy, to be lustful, to be angry in your old worldly life, so that you will take the birth back again into the same world. So you will not be able to break the cycle of life and death. In a way, what Ramdas Swami is saying, that if you want to break the cycle of life and death, you will have to get away from lobha, the greed, kshobha, the anger. Now, if you are not willing to give away these qualities from your life, you will take the rebirth in the same world again and again. You will not be able to break the cycle of life and death. You will not achieve the moksha. पुरे ना जनी लोभरे क्षोभते आते म्हणून जनी मागुता जन्म घे. That is the reason why you take the birth back into the same world, because you still have attachment towards the possessions in this world. So this was the meaning of Shlok number 16 from Manache Shlok, composed by Shri Samartha Ramdas Swami in simple English. Please let me know your recommendations, and if you like this effort, please do share with those who do not understand Marathi but are interested in knowing what the saints have talked about life. Manache Shlok is not only for small kids, it is for everyone who wants to live their life to the fullest, peacefully and calmly. Thank you everyone, and if you like this effort, please do subscribe to my channel, and I'm going to resume this series back again. Thank you. Jai Jai Raghuveer Samartha.